All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is November 25th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there, podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you to all the paying subscribers. A lot of traders made some money today. Had some really good results. Out of all the questions, we did a poll. Out of the 17 that answered it, I'm going to tell you 16 made some money today in the BYOB Trading Room. So thank you for all of that. Let me remind everybody that I do have a few announcements. Tomorrow, we will close the trading room at noon. There will be no moderator after 12 noon tomorrow, okay? I'm not saying the room's going to be closed, but there will be no moderator, okay? Thursday, of course, trading room is closed. Friday, there will be no trading room will be here, but there won't be anybody moderating on Friday either, okay? I want to remind everybody one other project. We have Black Friday coming out soon here on Black Friday. We have lifetime subscriptions, okay? $39.95. All right, regularly $10,000. So get a lifetime. You never have to pay a monthly subscription or take a trial or take anything ever again. All you got to do is pay the $39.95, and that gets you into all the workshops, past and present. We have recordings of the old workshops, and believe that gets you a copy of the old workshops if you take a lifetime membership. The other deal we have also called Cyber Monday. We have annual subscription is only $12.05. So for $1,205, you get 12 months. And then on top of that, you get another 6 months added onto it. So it's a total of 18 months for the price of 12. All right, so 18 months for the price of 12, and that price is $1,205, okay? So 18 months, and again, you never have to worry about not having a trading room because, for 18 months, you'll be locked in, all right? You won't have to worry about finding a deal, so think about it. I will leave a link in the description. I will also leave it in the chat room, and hopefully everybody enjoys it, okay? So that's that. All right, let's talk about how I made 8,100 today in the trading room. All right, let's move this over. All right, so we can talk about today's price action. All right, and let's talk about SPY. And so let's lay out the landscape for the morning session, okay? Because landscape got a little wonky right here, but we were not thrown off here in the BYOB Trading Room. So we have price from yesterday, 24th. Beautiful 10-minute uptrend. We traded the 10-minute uptrend up to the highs up here, and then it consolidated into the close. Now, if you look at the price action for the close, all right, price action moved to the right, okay? Did not break down, so it was a bullish bias coming into the open this morning with price consolidating over to the right. That left us with a bullish bias, and we traded the morning session looking for pick off the lows or probably find that 10-minute uptrend for the breakout over the base, which happened to be right about here, okay? Had a little red erases green, okay? Green erases red right over the top of those highs. And we entered coming into this 10 minutes on the 10-minute time frame. We actually entered down here when we saw the lows getting higher and higher and higher. So we kind of jumped in here. Had a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. We bought this, and we rode it all the way up to this 674.50 area, took some profit, and then actually we just enjoyed the rest of the day. Kicked back, enjoyed the rest of the day, and then another 10-minute uptrend resumed into the close right here. So beautiful 10-minute uptrend that we took advantage of here in the room. Price action ripping to the upside. Look at all the green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green candles in a row. Beautiful. Beautiful uptrend right there over VWAP. Again, you got the candles riding on top of the 3. Okay, the 3 is pointed up. The 8, all right? The 3 and the 8, the candlesticks and the 3 are riding on top of the 8. The 8 is pointed up. Okay, and then you've got the 10-minute uptrend over VWAP right here. See this brown line? Over VWAP. Okay, so now we've got the mouth of the 8 EMA on the 10-minute chart and VWAP just continually open up wider and wider and wider and wider as day goes on until about right here, which happens to be 2 p.m. So we had a trend day. All right, trend day is when we have a 10-minute uptrend, all right, that exists and stays in an uptrend between 11 and noon. All right, there's a 60 to 80% chance that that 10-minute trend will resume until 2 o'clock, 2:30, and it did. Here's 2 o'clock, and then it cut out. All right, and then there, on top of that, there is a 10 to 20% chance that price winds up closing at the end of the day at the high of the day. So here's price beginning to close at the end of the day near the high of the day. Again, we have another 10-minute uptrend that takes over again and rips up through 675 area right up there. So there's 10-minute chart. We traded this, and that's it. Pretty much just traded calls. I had a couple of put credit spreads that I was able to capture some money on. And here are the products that I traded today. You can see I made $44 on I sold some 651 puts. All right, I sold some 655 puts, 0 DTE. Made 3,900 on some 673 calls. And let's take a look at those. So those 673 calls right here. You can see I bought the first one right there at 9:30. Bought the second one at 9:38. Okay, 9:38. Bought the second one. Okay, then bought some more at 9:45. 9:50. All right, and then you can see right there where I move this over just a little bit, kind of move this over to the right there. See if I can zoom in on it and pan over. Okay, so again, bottom down here, sold into the highs of the candles. Reloaded, sold into the highs of the candles. Reloaded, sold into the highs of the candle. Okay, the blue dots represent the buys. Okay, reload, sell into the highs of the candles. Reload, sell into the highs of the candles. Again, continuing just reload and sell into the highs of the candles. Okay, capturing 3,900 in profits. I sold some calls in preparation for this to visit VWAP. That did not work out. I lost 1,900 on those. Pan over to see that. Okay, so I sold some, and clearly calls did not go down. They went up. I was looking for a VWAP pullback, and I lost 3,900 on those. 1,900 on those. Made 1,200 on these 690 calls. Again, bought the lows down here, sold the highs up there. Made 2,500 on these calls. These are the 675 1DT calls. Bought the lows, sold the highs, sold the highs. reloaded, sold the highs, reloaded right there. Okay, so I made 2,500 on those. Again, bought the lows of the candles, sold the highs. That's it. So that's basically how I made my money today. On the option candle, had that 10-minute uptrend. Now all I had to do was make sure that the 10-minute uptrend was intact. That's all I have to do. Okay, so I just look at the 10-minute uptrend, pan over. If my 10-minute uptrend is still intact, I continue to spread out a net, all right, or a grid of buy orders underneath, whereby price reloads my contracts underneath, and then I spread out a net up above of sell orders, a grid, okay, and price runs right into it. Okay, price runs in. I don't have to be a fast trader. Okay, all I have to do is be a prepared trader for price to run into my grid of sell orders by placing sell orders up over my cost basis for that 10-minute uptrend to run into. That's it. I don't have to be fast. All I have to do is be prepared for that continuation of that 10-minute uptrend. You can see price was bullish. We could tell price was bullish because looking back at it, price went up and it held the higher ground. Okay, that is always a bullish environment for me. Okay, when price goes up, holds the higher ground, that's an expression of bullishness. Okay, usually price will go up and then come back. Okay, but it didn't. All right, price went up and it stayed up. All right, and that's something that I like to see when I'm going to be buying something for a longer term. Price went up, held the higher ground, love it. All right, gave me and inspired me to buy the dip. All right, and then price went up again and held the higher ground. Another day. All right, truthfully, I'd be looking for the same thing tomorrow. Okay, this is what I'd be looking for tomorrow. Okay, because I may not be here past noon. All right, so see this downtrend line right here? Well, I would be looking for price to go up to 680 tomorrow. Hopefully, we break through 680 and you go clear up to 685. All right, that would be really nice. Goes all the way to 685, breaking through the 680. Okay, so we got a downtrend line. Let's go out there and visit that in just a minute. Start with a 2-hour chart. Okay, you can see here we have 3 EMA candlesticks riding on top of the 3 EMA, and the candlesticks riding over the 8. That's the white line. And then we've got the candlesticks, the 3 and the 8 riding over the 17. That's the green dot. So we have a 2-hour uptrend right there. Let's take a look at daily chart. Question is, did we make a higher high? Because this is a high up there. The high that day is, here's the question. The high that day was 675.56. The high this day is 676.21. Okay, so we clearly made a higher high. All right, so now what we have here is an uptrend on the SPY. Here is a spike over the 17. SPY now in a daily uptrend. Price action candle for today. Nice candle. Higher low, higher high. Closing over the bullish trap, over the 17. And you can see here's our downtrend line. I'm going to move this out of the way. So here's our downtrend line, and it exists from connecting, all right, the high, all-time high with the lower high right through here. Now, I would be looking for a little bit of rejection when we get to this downtrend line tomorrow. Okay, I would be looking for probably a pullback, being since this will be the third touch of the downtrend line. Now, there's no guarantee that we get a bounce back to this peak right here. There's no guarantee that that happens, but I would be kind of expecting it. So look on the 1 or the 2 minute chart for price to reverse, come back, test the top of this peak right there, okay, that 675.50 number, okay, and then J-hook out of there, hopefully finding support and moving back up through it. We'll find out what happens tomorrow when tomorrow comes. But right now, beautiful candle right there. Love the move today. Daily now in an uptrend by making a higher high. Okay, so take a look at the weekly. Weekly still in an uptrend. Got a 3 candle pullback, but weekly nicely recovering right there. On the weekly chart, still in an uptrend. Nothing's broken yet. Monthly chart, still in an uptrend. Again, nothing's broken there. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, on QQQ, let's look at the 10-minute. 10-minute has pretty much the same thing. All right, so we've got a 10-minute uptrend that kicks off. We got right here, 10-minute uptrend. Okay, at 11:30. So they were a kind of late comer there on the QQQ. Okay, then we've got green erases red entry right here on the green erases red. I think that is a green erases red entry. Yeah, green erases red. No, that didn't happen till up here. Okay, so actually the pre-market. Okay, we had the pre-market wipeout right there. Okay, so price action moves up. All right. And we have a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Again, I'll move the pivot out of the way. Okay, 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Price goes up to the green erases red. Entry up here. Okay, 10-minute uptrend to be, and then price consolidates, holding the highs, and then breaks out again over the highs. Like another 10-minute uptrend right there, commencing over the highs on QQQ. Okay, so 10-minute uptrend on QQQ and SPY coming into the close. On the 2-hour, we've got a 2-hour uptrend as well. Okay, you can see candlesticks riding on the 3, 3 and the candlesticks riding over the 8, 8 and the candlesticks and the 3 all riding over the 17. So we've got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close on QQQ. Let's look at the daily chart. Okay, daily chart, they did not take out the high yet. Okay, they got a higher low and a higher high, but they did not convert the downtrend into an uptrend yet on the QQQ. All right, that's interesting. I'd like to see that happen though, because we're going to need tech, all right, in order to get us back up to those highs. I believe we do for SPY. All right, so we'll see what happens. Weekly chart still in an uptrend. Got that 3 candle pullback. Nothing's broken yet on the weekly chart. Still in an uptrend. Monthly chart still in an uptrend. Again, nothing's broken. They would have to take out this low, all right, in order to negate the uptrend and convert the downtrend. They have to take out that low right there. So still clearly in an uptrend on QQQ, coming into the close right there. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU on daily chart. And look at it with the quad lines on there. FNGU today, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross. See the 3 crossing up over there. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still in a downtrend on FNGU. Okay, they have not taken out this high yet. If they happen to take out that high, they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. FNGU, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish cross, but under the all-time high anchored VWAP, still in a downtrend. If we zoom way out here and pan over, okay, you can see here's our April low, and you can see we're still up here in quadrant 4. Okay, so that's bullish, but still in a downtrend. Here was the major support. You can see where price action needed to break the major support in either to get bearish. You can see we did close some candles underneath the major support, spiking it. Okay, they didn't get any follow through. Instead, price turned around and the bulls recovered the price action by dragging it back up over once was major support right through here. Okay, so nice work on the bulls' part for FNGU on the daily chart. Okay, if we look at SPY just one more time on the daily chart, you can see that we've got bookends. All right, see these two big candles? Two big candles right here. Okay, candle number one. Notice I said we have an igniting candle coming from here. We needed follow through, all right, for this candle to be relevant. Otherwise, just one big red candle. Got another big red candle here. Okay, and I said same thing again. We need follow through in order to this big red candle to kind of be relevant, all right, and we needed follow through. We did not get the follow through. They did not get the follow through here, and what happened was price ran up and made a new all-time high. Okay, we did not get the follow through here. They needed to come through yesterday. They failed. Okay, and what happened was price turned around and negated the downtrend and converted the uptrend right here. Okay, so we'll see if they're going to run off and make a new all-time high. So we got two big red candles. The first one failed to have the follow through, and their price ran off and made a new all-time high. Can they do it again? We'll see. All right, clearly we have a much better start this time than what we had last time. Last time we didn't get up over the big red candle until the 10th trading day. Okay, so far on the third day, we're back up over the big red candle that dropped down. So that's a good sign, all right, in that we've got 7 more trading days to get up over the big red candle, and we've already done it in 3 days. Okay, so there's SPY on the daily chart. All right, let's go back and take a look at IWM. Wow, what a rip today. Higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Not quite enough to convert the uptrend yet, okay? Still in a downtrend. All right, price in the middle of quadrant 4, but still in a downtrend. They are pennies or $1 away from converting the uptrend right here. Okay, they take out the peak of that candle right there, and they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. So all they got to do is take out that high. I think they do it tomorrow. I really do. Okay, so there's IWM on the daily chart. Still in a downtrend, but up there in the middle of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Higher low, higher high. Now this scares me. See the big red, see the big green candle? Kind of the last candle in the sequence. I'm hoping that's not exhaustion and that's not all that they got. All right, but it could be. All right, we'll see what happens. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish cross, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. There's Diamond Dow. Middle of quadrant. I'm going to zoom way out so you can see it. Okay, here's the quad lines. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Middle of quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right, but still in a downtrend. Okay, they have to take out the all-time high in order to negate the downtrend. This does not go through the 17. All right, it doesn't look like. Let's just see. The 17 is 668.68, and the close is, no, not the close, the high is 669.03. Okay, so actually this is now an uptrend now for Diamond Dow. Okay, because they took out that high. So Diamond Dow now in an uptrend for taking out that squeaker high right there. All right, so Diamond Dow now in a daily uptrend and in the middle of quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend for Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at GLD. Okay, GLD, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, nothing's broken here. In the middle of quadrant 4, I'll zoom way out so you can see it. Okay, it's quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, middle of quadrant 4. Still bullish, still in an uptrend on gold. Silver still in a downtrend. Now they got themselves in a downtrend by taking out that low right there. See the low that pokes through the 17? They made a lower low. Today's candle, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, but still in a downtrend that's not moving down and it's moving up. If they take out this high right here, okay, they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. Okay, just a little bit of work to do up there. Okay, you got to take out that high and they can negate the downtrend. All right, currently, all right, it's just a label. So they're currently in a downtrend that's not moving down, that's moving up. And they're up there in bullish quadrant 4, kind of near the top of quadrant 4. I'm just going to call it the middle of quadrant 4. So that's bullish and in a downtrend. I'll zoom way out. Okay, here's our low. There's our high. Okay, so in the middle of quadrant 4. So that's bullish and in a downtrend that's not moving down, it's moving up. Let's take a look at UNG. All right, UNG was in an uptrend, but look, here's a low. They made a lower low, so now they're back into a downtrend. Okay, they were holding the higher ground, but they lost it. Okay, UNG got a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, and you can see right here, they're now in a downtrend, so they're in quadrant 1. I'm going to zoom way out. You can see that's quadrant 4. This is the 2025 high. This is the 2025 high anchored VWAP right here. This is bearish down here in quadrant 1. Okay, so that's bearish and in a downtrend. Okay, they were holding the higher ground. They were looking really good. All right, but then they lost it right there. So now it's still bearish and in a downtrend. They can recover this. Okay, if they want to, they can recover this. Okay, so right now, just bearish, still in a downtrend. Again, I want to see them out of this bearish territory, which is the lower third of the quad lines. There's the 2025 high. This is the upper third. This would be the middle, would be neutral, and down here is bearish. Okay, that's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. Then we're going to go look at our technicals. You can see USO in a downtrend. See the green line that slopes down? Okay, price is underneath it. So this is kind of called diagonal diagonal resistance. Instead of like horizontal resistance, we got diagonal resistance right there. This is the trend. The trend is sloping to the downside. Trend line or diagonal resistance, either one. Price action for today, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish trap, under the 17, under, this is the post-COVID high anchored VWAP right here, this pink line. And the post-COVID high comes, of course you guys all know, COVID was 2020. So this is the post-COVID high, 2022 high right here from back in 2022. And you can see price is still underneath that, okay? Got to climb on top of that and hold the higher ground. All right, so we're neutral, all right? But let me just say we start closing candles down here in the lower third, and it's going to be bearish. Okay, so we're still neutral and still in a downtrend and in jeopardy of falling into the lower third and that's going to be bearish down there. So there's USO. Again, moving in the wrong direction if you want to be a bull with USO. Okay, so let's take a look at our technicals. And T2101. Lately, T2101, when the market moves up, the breadth and the participation have been decreasing. Today, the breadth and the participation increased as price moved up. That is a good sign. That's a great sign. Okay? Did they fill gap? I'm going to say yes, they did fill gap. So we had a bearish gap down yesterday, and the bulls filled that bearish gap down from yesterday. And that is an excellent sign to see participation increase while the market is moving up. Clearly identified in IWM, seeing price action move up in IWM. That's the Russell 2000. Remember, S&P only has 500 securities. Dow Jones or Diamond Dow has 30. NASDAQ has 100. Seeing 2000 move in the upward direction with conviction and holding the highs up there is a welcoming sign, okay? And in order to get 2000, I don't think you can do it without some sort of participation or wind in your sails. So that was nice. T2101. T2122, we find ourselves in the overbought zone. Now we can stay here for a while. All right? We can camp out there for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. All right? Just because we're in the overbought doesn't mean, okay, now we're going to sell off. We are due for a rest. Okay, after 3 days up, I wouldn't mind it if they took a day off, all right? In other words, rest. But me, I would rather see them complete the task at hand and take Thursday off and rest like the rest of us. We'll see, okay? So price came out of the buyer's chop zone, didn't even stop in the buy zone to use the potty or to get some coffee. They just went straight to the overbought zone and camped out there all day. Nice work, T2122, right there. T2123, finally moving in a different direction, moving up instead of down. We have a bullish gap up. That's welcoming. That's not filled by the bears. They've moved up. They've held the higher ground. That's bullish. I like it. Still underneath the falling 200 SMA. Okay, not my favorite place to be unless I'm a bear, not a bear. So there's T2123. Still a lot of work to be done. Okay, if we take this is the all-time high. Let's say we put the quad lines on there. You can still see we're still down here in quadrant 1. That's bearish, okay? But in an uptrend because we made a higher high. Okay, so we're bearish and in an uptrend. Bearish because we're in quadrant 1 on the 15-minute chart, but in an uptrend because we're making higher highs and higher lows. There's T2123 15-minute chart. Let's look at the 3-bar chart, same product. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, here is the support line from the last Head and Shoulders. And you can see the last Head and Shoulders was voided by price making a new high, a new all-time high right up there. We are bouncing at the same location as the last Head and Shoulders, okay, over here. So we're bouncing. This is the upper third. This would be, candles below here would be neutral, no longer bullish, okay. Down here would be bearish. Right in here is neutral, and they're in the upper third, so it's bullish, but they're not in an uptrend yet, okay? You can see here's price making a new all-time high, all right? And then there's a higher low, and now we make a lower high. See, it's up over the 17. Higher high, then produce, yep, a lower low, then produce a lower high, and another lower low, and a lower high. So there's where we left off, all right, in a downtrend making a lower low. Now, if price happens to really rip rally and make a new high, higher high over here, okay, they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. Currently, they're under the flat 200 SMA, okay, not my favorite place unless I'm a bear, okay, and they're just barely hanging on to the bullishness required, okay, because you're in the upper third up here. Okay, so we'll see where they want to go with this. Clearly got still a whole lot of work to be done. I got to tell you, if this rallies up to the all-time highs, I don't know where SPY is going to be. I think SPY is going to be at 750. All right? I mean, we're at 675 now, and price is down here. I just want to see where buy price was in August of 2025. I wonder what that number is. We're at 675, and T2123 is way down here. I got a feeling we didn't get to 675 till a little bit higher up here. We'll take a peek at that. So that's August. It's the beginning of August right there. So we'll take a look at SPY in just a minute. And then here's FNGU. Price action for FNGU making a higher, got a low, making a higher low, got a high. They made a higher high. So they're still in an uptrend. Okay, they're up over VWAP. Still in an uptrend. They're over the falling 200 SMA. That's a bullish sign. All right. We're still under. We're still underneath that all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay. The good news is we're leaning on it. All right, and poking holes in it at this time. Okay, if they get on top of that, that will be wonderful to see. I like that price is no longer breaking through major support right there. Now, this is only 10 securities, okay, in the FNGU, all right? It happens to be the 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in the QQQ and SPY. When these 10 move as a pack, they can drag those two indexes right along with them. All right, right now we've got Google making new all-time highs. All right, and I don't know who else is making. I think NVIDIA is working in the other direction, though. Okay, I would think we're going to need NVIDIA making some higher highs, not necessarily new all-time highs, but I would think we're going to need NVIDIA if we're going to make a new rally and make it up to 700. So there's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. Bullish up there, okay, in an uptrend. I like the idea that it's holding the higher ground. I like the idea that it's over the 200 SMA. All right, let's go back and look at SPY one more time. Looking for the August of 2025. Where was SPY? All right, so SPY, and let's look at 4-hour chart. So here is August right there on SPY. So the high's there, 639. Okay, so if T2123 happens to rip around and go after new all-time highs, that has the possibility of taking SPY not only to 700 but clear up to 750 based on if they rally from here. We'll see what happens. Right now, SPY is at 675. Okay, the last time when price was right there where the head and shoulders was on the T2123, SPY was down here, somewhere between 626 and we'll call it 640 right there. Just saying that there's a chance for 700 by year's end if T2123 decides to rip out some new all-time highs. All right, just saying that that's on the table. Right now, we finally got SPY into an uptrend. That's good. We're in the middle of quadrant 4. Things are looking good. They're turning around. We'll see if we can hold it together. Got some questions. John, how many positions do you buy of the 0 DTE SPY calls 673 at 210 contract price? How many positions? I have one position. No, 0. I don't have any zeros. Everything that I'm currently holding, Alexandria, is 1 DTE or higher. Okay, this is going to expire tomorrow. Okay, and these are 3s, and I've got some 675 calls that expire tomorrow there. Now today, I had on the call side, all right, I had on the 0 DT call side, I had 672s, which I lost money on. I had 673s, which I made money on. I had 685s, which doesn't look like I even traded those. So for zeros today, I know I had 672s right there. So I did not have any 670. Yeah, I had some 673s. That's all I had. 673s right there. And I do not have anything right now. 673s. Let me reread the question. How many positions did you buy of the 0 positions? Okay, I started buying right here. It was nonstop buying and selling for most of the day. Okay, I bought, I sold, I reloaded, 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 I sold, sold, sold. Right there. There was a time, I don't know how many I had, but everything is on the video, and you can go back and watch it. I'm going to show you where the video is. Okay, it's all recorded. Everything I did today. You come up here to the people. You click the people. The hamburger next to the people. Okay, see the hamburger right here next to the people. Come down here to archives, and you hit recordings, and it's going to open up a new right here. And you can see this is today's recording. See 11:25. As soon as this populates, all right, I got one from yesterday. See, you want to hear? That's me. I'll turn up the volume. All right, good morning, traders. Today is November 24th, 2025. In just 3 more days, it'll be Thursday. We'll be eating turkey in the afternoon, hopefully with some family. Okay, so right here, 7 hours. Okay, that's me. I record the whole day from beginning to end right there. Okay, so here's the day before that. That's the 21st. Here's the 20th. Okay, there's not many people out there that are willing to record, okay, everything that they do. Half of them don't even want to show you what they're doing. Okay, there's very few people have the courage, all right, to share with you everything that they're doing right in front of you, trade for trade, all right, and then and there's even less that are willing to record it so that you can watch it at a future date and time. Okay? I would say there's none of those people except for me. I'm the only one I know of that's willing to actually share everything that I'm doing in real time in the live markets. Okay, I'm the only one I know of that's willing to share everything that I'm doing, expose everything. This is my positions. These are my executed trades. If you look over on screen 2, there's my, I even have my unfilled orders down there at the bottom. Okay, and then on top of all of that, I record the whole thing from beginning to end so that you can learn from it in a future date and time. There's very, very few people that are willing to do that. If you find somebody that does that, let me know, all right? So far, I am the only one that does that, okay? So you can see everything's all recorded for you right there. And this will be recorded today. Actually, this conversation that we're having right now will be at the end of this video right now. All right, so just saying, there's very few of us out there that are willing to just show you everything. That's how much I'm committed to making all of you successful traders. Okay, that's all I want, is for you to experience that success, to find that tool that fits your hand so that you can put it in your toolbox and you can make some money with it when I'm no longer around. Okay, not that I'm going anywhere. I ain't going anywhere, all right? But I'm just saying, eventually you're going to grow up as a trader and you're going to have your own bias. You're going to have your own trade. You're going to have your own moving averages that you like. And you're going to develop your own skills. Okay, so like me, everybody that comes along develops their skills. Okay, I've got one I call the trend day, all right? And with that, if you come over here to my files, you can see under images, all right, I've got a little worksheet on how to identify a trend day and what normally happens on a trend day. So I've got a little trend day identifier. Price is up in a 10-minute uptrend, okay? And that's a tool. That's a new tool. I created that tool. I identified that tool. I use this tool very often as a day trader, and we use it, and we make money with that tool knowing that there's a 70 to 80% chance price is going to continue with the uptrend up until 2 o'clock or 2:30. That's a tool of mine that I developed on my own. Nobody told it to me. Okay, that's just me studying price action year after year after year. And you will develop your own as well. All right? You just need to find something. You need to find enough tools so you can survive. And eventually you're going to start forming your own opinions and your own biases and actually creating your own tools. You're going to get to that point as well. This is a MMRP. All right? That is the bullish MMRP. These are little cut worksheets. They're free to download, all of them, any of them, okay? This is the bearish MMRP. My eye is itching right now, but I'm probably going to wrap it up real soon here. All right, so, and then this is, what do they call this? This is the thriller trade. This is where price comes in at the very end of the day, and usually a lot of, how do they call it? The shadow box, the shadow traders, black market, I don't know what they call it. I don't know why something, my eye's itching and I kind of lost my thought. But at the end of the day, those people come in and they make a big purchase and it drives markets up higher. Usually I can pick those days out pretty good. And that was the last time I did the thriller trade. I had everybody prepped and I said, I'm buying this for the thriller trade. All right, but I haven't seen it yet, okay? But I think it's coming. Maybe sometime this week we may get a thriller trade. If not this week, maybe next week. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there is. These are all cut sheets. All right, little one picture. You don't need to print them, okay? But you should download them and put them in a little folder. There's nothing but black ink on here, and it's gonna wipe out your ink supply. So don't print them up. Just put them in a folder, maybe on a little, what do they call it, USB drive, or put them somewhere. And these are all worksheets. Just call it trading and stick it in that USB drive. So you have it for future use. All of these, okay? All nice little picture charts, helping you to become a better trader. All right? All of them right here. Just take download the picture. They're free. You're a member. It's available for you, and you just put them on a thumb drive so you have them for the future. All right. So as far as I know, I only had one position in 673 calls, but I worked that position by selling off into strength and reloading into weakness. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'm still here. Will do my darnest to try to help anybody. Probably not even here anymore. You too, Robert. You too. If I don't see you tomorrow, you have a happy Thanksgiving as well. Everybody. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving from everybody in the BYOB family, the Hit and Run Candlesticks family, the Right Way Options family, all of us, to all of you. All right. We want to wish you all happy Thanksgiving. Have a great time with your families. Take lots of pictures. Make some good memories. And we'll come back next week and we'll hit it hard, make some more profits, okay? So, again, thank you, everybody. Don't forget on, not Monday, not Cyber Monday, but Wednesday, I'm going to have an open house. And I want to remind everybody, I've got open house on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Invite all your friends and family if you want to see what we're doing. All right, it's free. All you got to do is register. I will leave the registration in the link of the video. All right, so right there. All right, so that's it for me for today. I don't know if there's anybody else here that has a question. I hope I answered Alexandria's question. I'm not getting a response, so I don't know if she heard me. So, but thank you, everybody. Everybody have a safe. If you're traveling, I hope you get there safe, because I want to see you come back. I look forward to trading with you all next week. I look forward to trading with you all into next year. All right? I'm not going anywhere. All right? So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, traders. Everybody have a beautiful evening. I'll see you tomorrow at 8. And we'll do it again. All right? Let's make some more profits again. Thank you, everyone.